My name is Ajantha Shetty. I'm the Managing Director and the CEO of Lotus Shopping Center. Lotus is a company which is set up between an Indian and Irish JV. Based in Bangalore. Lotus has an investment in 7 different projects in India, where it has got a share between 50 to 75% between different landlords on that site. And basically we are into shopping center only and not any other development. So our expertise is into investment, design development, leasing and management. So that's our core expertise are. So our modus of operandi is that we usually partner with the landlords who has got a land parcel or with a developer who has a land parcel who want to develop. And we are in MAPIC here to look out for retailers who wants to come to India, because a lot of European retailers are planning to come to India and also want to look at investors who want to look at India as an opportunity for them on the shopping center business wise. And we are also into hotel developments, which is part of shopping centers. Wherever there is a shopping center, we do a budget hotel or a 3-star hotel, which is complementing the shopping center. That's our main business on it. India is a big country, as everybody knows. It's a 1.2 billion people plus. And India as a market, it is still a very in a nascent stage in retail, because everybody in the world knows that the retail size of India is going to go up to $1 trillion by 2020. The India's retail is getting organized now. There's a big scope for any retailers to come and set up business in India. The death is that there is a lot of shortage of the organized retail space, which is shopping center space. And the spending power is increasing every year. The population is changing into a spending population there. The average household income is increasing. So I think it's a very interesting market for a retailer to come in now, because for you to be in India in next 2 to 3 years time, it's going to be a big challenge to get a right space. So the competition of Indian retailers and international retailers are going to go on a different stage in next 2 years time. And as a real estate, it is compared to Europe, it is much cheaper for you to take a real estate. The taxes for the retailers are much better in India. The manpower is cheaper. For example, the sales per square foot in an Indian retail store compared to any other European cities, barring Paris or London, is almost same what you get out of it. And the number of stores that you can do is much more compared to Europe. So currently we understand that Europe has reached a saturation point, and India is the place where you can actually focus on. And the fashion sense in India is more European or a Western, we call it a Western wear. So there is a mix of Indian and European culture which is existing for last 20-30 years. That's a big market for any retailers that you take about it. And people are well traveled. They do travel to either to Singapore or Europe on holidays. So it's a place where any European retailer can come and do the brand. Okay, and an example for the spending culture in India, the Jaguar JLR was bought out by an Indian company, and the highest number of JLR is happening in India currently. The luxury cars, even though the tax is around 180% compared to Europe, a particular luxury car, the sales figure are very promising for any brand. So spending culture is always there. For us, the visibility to the international retailers, because most of the European retailers think that India is not emerged as an emerged market for them as of now. But and there is no serious shopping center developers in India. But we want to prove that as wrong. We want to talk to them about all the projects that we are doing in, talk to them about the market, and also be visible here within the big crowd of European shopping and Russian shopping center developers here. So we want to make a point here saying that India is a big market. There are a lot of international developers who are already there. There's an Irish company, as I mentioned, that was already been in India for the last 4 years developing shopping centers. It is a market for them to look out for, especially for investors and retailers. And if the developers are around from European developers who want to venture into India, I think it's a great market for them too. Either it is residential or retail, it's a big market. Yes, actually it's not only for the Indian developers. I think it is also important for Indian retail houses, because a lot of brands that I met here are looking out for a JV partner or a master franchise in India. And I clearly understand that the reason for them to look out for a partner in India because they don't know the terrain. And India is a different animal for you to work with. It's an easy place to work with, but you need to understand it. It is always better to have local partner for you to do it. I think the MAPIC has to reach out to all these players to bring them to MAPIC next year, which would be very helpful for a lot of retailers here to get exposed about what are the nuances of the Indian market, so that they can be present in enter the Indian market. For example, most of the brands like your Zara, H&M, they're already there in India with a JV partnership with one of the major brand houses. And I think it would be good for the MAPIC to bring in most of the retail players next time here, so that it would be a win-win situation for the retailer in Europe and also an investor or the franchises in India, beside focusing on the developers. As a developer, shopping center developers, for us it is good for us. We've been exposed here to the investors, retailers. I think it would get better because this year it has been first time for me here to put up a stall, and I have big plans for next year now. So that's our idea.